Shalom, shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Waha, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim, pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathia from Great Millstone, Dallas. And I was on Chat GPT, and I put in, can cryptocurrency lead to a one world government? As you see, we're getting to a point where this is going to be a part of that fourth industrial revolution, where it's going to be all these things moving forward, like with AI. This is going to lead up to ultimately a cashless society where we're going to be dealing with digital currency. So I wanted to ask this question just to see what it would pull up with Chat GPT, what it says. And it says here, this is a deep question. Let's break it down. All right, now it says verse on 1, cryptocurrency and centralization. Most cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, were designed to avoid centralized control by government or banks. They run on decentralized networks. However, governments and global institutions are exploring central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, which are not decentralized. A global system of CBDCs could, in theory, be coordinated, which that is going to be set up. All right, that's coming to a town, to a city, to a state near you, because they're setting that up. And the whole digital currency deal was the first get together and set up for it to be utilized by the government. But let's keep reading here. It says, verse 2, path to a one world government. Because it said it would. They were trying to avoid centralized control by governments, but ultimately it's going to be set up to be centralized, which we're seeing that in this time now. All the things that we're seeing set up. That's why certain companies or things like that are basically, when you go to these certain restaurants, if you go to like a high-end restaurant, I heard a lot of them don't even accept cash anymore. You know, a lot of them don't accept cash in certain places. I believe it was a Starbucks that I saw about a year, well, a little bit after the pandemic. They said that they was not accepting cash, and that was a lot of the things that were happening at that point when they were doing the pandemic. You know, that they didn't want to touch money, so it became more of a credit pay. You know, a cashless payment, and this is going to get to a point where it's going to happen where it's going to be a cashless society. That is what it's leading up to. Okay. Now, it says a path to a one world government. Okay. For cryptocurrency to lead to a one world government, it would have to become a universal standard of money that would give whoever controls it massive power. Now, this is what is going to bring forth world war, because war happens when someone's trying to be control of the money. The financial sector is what runs a society. Okay, so this is, as you said, it will give whoever controls it massive power. So you see that China, America, you know, these other countries are racing to be ruling by, see who's going to be in the main control of this digital currency that is being established on the earth. Okay, because the foundation is set. All right. So it says decentralized crypto like Bitcoin makes it difficult because no single government controls it. All right. It says centralized digital money, CBDCs, or a global digital currency banked by big institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations, the IMF or UN, could make global governance more practical since finance is one of the strongest level of control. You see that? The strongest level of control. Now, I'm going to go over here to this interview with Aaron Russo and Aaron Russo and what's his name? Alex Jones. Okay? Because what we just read, it says Slovakia. What we just read right here, it said what? It makes the strongest level of control. All right. And we remember who was that? The first Bush, George Bush. He said they wanted to set up a new world order, and they will be what? They're going to be successful. All right. So let's play this here.
The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and then they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
Everything.
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people, and you become a slave. You become a serf.
Yeah. And that's what the ultimate goal is that Esau is setting up for these elite bankers who actually rule the world. Who you see as your president, that you see in the forefront, these are puppets that they're setting up. All right, but the real rulers of the world are your bankers, as you were just mentioning. And they want to set up where it's going to be controlled by whatever you, any type of transaction has to be utilized, okay? Any transaction. So if we go here, it says, let me move this. He said it's going to be controlled now. The risk and possibilities. Read this in on 3. It says surveillance and control. A centralized digital currency system can track every transaction, making enforcement of laws and restrictions easier. Then we just read. He just mentioned that. He said he get everybody chipped, and from there you can control any type of transaction that is done. Okay. All right, let's get a scripture here. This is Revelations 13 and 16. And it says, and he called this all, okay, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So this is planned for all to be controlled, all to be under this global currency, which is they're planning to put in you. And you will be one with that sea hill, okay? And it said all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right. And he said he want to put it in you. So when you go into this word mark, okay, it is Strong's 5480, charakma. Okay, it says a stamp or imprinted mark. Okay, something that they're gonna put in you, a stamp. And when you put inject something, it's like a stamp in you. That's all right. And when you go into the root word karak, it's like palisade or a stake, with something they're gonna impale in you. All right, and it says of mark stamped on a forehead or right hand as a badge of the follower of the Antichrist, which what the scripture say, there will be many antichrists. That's against the Messiah. Anything that's against the Messiah is anti-Mashiach, which is Christ's Mashiach, anointed. Okay. The mark branded upon horses. When you put a brand on a horse, you're basically setting up ownership for that horse, and they'll know about a brand. Okay, kind of like on Yellowstone, that brand showed that if you watched the TV series Yellowstone, that brand that you put on you, if you see that, they know that you was immediately. You over there from the ranch over there, Yellowstone. We ain't gonna mess with you, you know. But that's what it's going to be. Everybody's going to have this one world government except the elect. You're going to have people that's going to probably ain't going to go for it, but they don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They don't got that that mark of exemption. All right? The carved sculpture. All right? And it is a idolatrous image. Okay? So when you go back over here, it says loss of national security. If nations adopt a global digital currency, they might lose control over the monetary policy. Efficiency argument. Advocates could say a single global currency reduces cost, fraud, and instability. All right, that cost, fraud, or instability. So it ain't gonna be how you would say that someone is giving you a payment under the table. No more of that. All right. No more of that. You can't even go exchange a Pokemon card or purchase a Pokemon card from your friend unless it's through something that's in transit, or the transaction is through those chips that you're gonna have amongst each other, you know. And it says here prophetic philosophical angle. Some people link this into the prophecies of a one world system or a mark of control, like Revelations 13, 16, and 17, which we just read about not buying or selling without the mark. To them, cryptocurrency, especially a centralized form, could be a tool paving to the way. So this is the foundation that is set upon the earth to bring forth what? The MOT to the B, what we were just reading. Okay? And the people that's going to be receiving this, going to, like you say, it's going to, these are the ones that's going to bow the knee to Baal. All right? Let's play a little more of this here.
To these people. That's their goal. That's their intentions.
Eric, can you be specific about when you met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event. And out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened. And I remember he was telling me how how you're gonna see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places, and there's gonna be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh yeah, there's no question. He says there's gonna be war on terror, and he's just laughing. There's no who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened, and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11, who were able to can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people. And
see what we're seeing now, getting up to set up for the MOT to the B. It was set up, these events that have happened, like I say, ever since the 911 deal, even up to the COV, the ID 19, all these things leading up to what we're about to see that Trump's getting ready to do is set up for war and see who's gonna run and be the head or the main role player in this N to the W to the O. It even goes back as far as like Albert Pike, who was a high Mason that set up and wrote down and let everyone know there was going to be 3 woes, which is war, and the third war was going to bring these nations to fight, and it was going to come up to be what they were going to set up for their left-handed side of the rulership that's going to be at its peak at that point. And that's what we're seeing now. And it's to control everyone on earth and basically make him your true God. But you're going to have men who are the elect that's not going to bow down to Baal. It's not going to give in to this, which the Lord is setting up to come and deliver them. The men that in Wisdom of Solomon 5, it said you're going to see the strangers of their salvation. These things are coming. All right. So I just wanted to play that. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yahweh pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.